Over the last few months, we've witnessed a remarkable resurgence in biotech. They were talking about it all day today on the day side. Take Emergent BioSolutions. Now, this is a vaccine maker where the stock was down nearly 10% for the year, but it has rallied almost 40% from its lows just in late August. While some of that's because they won a major multi-year contract to supply the Department of Health and Human Services with a smallpox vaccine. It's going to be for the next decade. A lot of it comes down to the rotation back into healthcare, although smallpox obviously is very important. A couple of weeks ago, Emergent held an analyst day where they told a pretty darn bullish tale about how they're going to keep growing the core business while also making acquisitions. That's why I wanted to circle back, because this company's got a lot going for it. So let's check in with Robert Cramer, no relation. Probably hears that all day. Just kidding. The president and CEO of Emergent BioSolutions, get a better sense of how this company's doing, where it's headed. Mr. Kramer, welcome back to Mad Money.
Good to see you.
Great to see you. Good to see you, sir. Have a seat. All right. Now, I think a lot of people would think when you hear smallpox, well, didn't we eradicate that? Do we still do vaccines? The answer is it is more important than ever, isn't it?
It is. It's one of the top biologic threats that our government is most concerned about, along with anthrax. And we've been in this space for a long time, partnering with HHS and other government agencies to make sure that our country is prepared with response plans to protect civilians and military personnel.
Well, at the same time, speaking of protection of people, your Narcan contracts and what's going on there, because I found this fascinating. You talked in your analyst day about co-prescription for people who are high-risk opioid users. That sounds like every state should do that.
Well, currently there are 9 states, Jim, that have adopted some form of co-prescription, where essentially physicians are required to have a conversation with a patient before they give them a prescription for an opioid, to also give them a prescription for some type of naloxone product like Narcan nasal spray. Because we all know that timely access and administration of a naloxone product like Narcan is critically important to saving lives.
Now, let's talk about these giant verdicts that you see they give against some of these drug companies. Totally worthwhile, as I think. But when they see these money, shouldn't some of that money go to you to make sure that people have Narcan and we stop having people dying from this stuff?
Well, I think the federal government is doing that maybe in a less direct way, with all of the state and federal funds to support the opioid epidemic. There was $1.8 billion was provided for funding for 2019. Much of that money is going toward procurement of naloxone products like Narcan. But importantly, it's also going to education and awareness to make sure that the 21 million patients who are taking some form of a prescription opioid are aware that there is a risk, number one, and secondly, they're aware of the importance of having access to naloxone to potentially save their life.
The president talks and his people talk aggressively to me about Chinese dumping fentanyl that is poisonous here. Poisonous fentanyl you can't be saved by Narcan, right?
Well, you can. I mean, you can. So whether it's fentanyl or carfentanil, what's scary is that there are derivatives of opioids and these kinds of products that are hitting the market that are, very deadly. It doesn't take a lot of that material to cause massive death, and our government is proactively looking to protect folks.
Okay, how about another one? Anthrax, still there, right?
It is. It's, excuse me, along with smallpox, it's one of the main biologic threats.
But how is it possible that we haven't figured these things out? I mean, the other one, botulism? That's still, botulism killed people. When I was growing up, there was a bunch of cranberry cans that killed people. It was botulism.
Sure.
We're still, we still have a problem with botulism?
Well, I think our government, rightly so, is concerned and being prepared to protect civilians and military personnel from those kinds of threats. And they are rightly, proactively stockpiling a whole portfolio of products in the case where people who want to do something bad are prevented.
All right, one last question. There are people, a considerable number of people, who believe that vaccines aren't good. They're vaccine resistant. What do you think about people, for instance, who think that it's wrong to take the measles vaccine?
Yeah, I think the clear benefits of proactively immunizing people from known diseases, infectious diseases is critically important, whether it's measles or pertussis or any number of them. So while there are always risks in terms of potential adverse events, the benefits far outweigh those risks.
I want to leave it on that because I sure hope people are listening. I mean, to me, this is, would know more than anyone else in this country if that's the case. That's Bob Cramer, President and CEO of Emergent BioSolutions, a critical company, critical to keep all the people safe in our country. They have money back in.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Kramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.